Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I am doing more small space cottage gardening direct from seed. I'm gonna go ahead and do this really small bed that is here at the base of the blue house deck. It is not a lot of square footage. In years past, I way overplanted this. So this year I'm gonna try and do a better job of not overplanting, getting the right amount of stuff in. And that actually is gonna start with a couple of clumps of grains. And today I was cleaning up post holidays and found some random pieces of wheat. Actually, I'm not sure if this is wheat or barley. It might be barley. I had been using for decoration. And I decided that I'm actually going to just plant these heads whole and see if they germinate. Usually I go through the process of like threshing and winnowing, but really if you're planning on just growing them out, I don't actually think that you have to do all that effort. So this is going to be a great experiment. All the other grain clumps that I'm going to plant are going to be like traditional raw seed. So this will be the one area that I'm going to try and keep my eyes on and watch and keep you updated. And then I'm going to do a really simple seeding of California poppies in the rest of the bed. So let me turn this camera around so that you can get an up close view of the square footage that I'm dealing with and show you exactly how simple this process is. Okay, the space right here, it's really small, sort of getting encroached upon by Ophiopogon and sedum. Really, I could let those ground covers just take over, but since I've got the open space and I do see seedlings germinating, and I'm not sure what they are, because they aren't big enough yet. More than likely they're weeds. Like I definitely have lamium growing in here. I'm not sure what all those are. Those actually look like poppies to me, those really tiny ones, which is a sign that it's definitely the right time to be getting the seed sown. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a really simple, small planting right here. I'm not really disturbing any of those seedlings. And I'm really just, I think I'll take it off the stalk, but you see, I'm just gonna do a couple of heads in here, not worrying about taking the chaff off or anything like that. And I think I'll do one more up here. These aren't big, bulky clumps, but I think it'll just be really interesting to see how and if they germinate. I think they will. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. Maybe I'll do one more because groups of 3 generally make more sense, and I've got 2 more heads. So just take it back here. You can see it doesn't need to be planted very deep. The roots are very capable, and really they should germinate quite quickly. Just gonna go ahead and cover that up just like that. And since I do see seedlings germinating in here, I'm not gonna do a lot of overseeding, but I do want there to be a nice stand of California poppies, and I have some really cool colors. So that's what I'm gonna concentrate sowing as the flowering kind of cover crop. Well, it's really funny. I was just debating on why this white muley grass is so crushed, and obviously Reginald likes to play in it. That's the answer. I really don't think this needs to be here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and dig it out. The scale isn't quite right for these here, but I'm not going to bother with this one right now. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one, get that transplanted over in the native border, and that'll give me a little more square footage to work with. And this is the bed that I'm focusing on. You see, it is not very big. I do already have some self-sown larkspur established. That's what this is. Nice amount of it. There is, of course, some lamium, as there always is. I'm not seeing much germination of any random things in this side, which is good news. Over here, you can see there's a lot germinating, but I have a feeling a good portion of this is chickweed. But see, you can't tell when they're still in the cotyledon stage, but like this, that looks like chickweed to me, but I think I need to give it another week or so, which I'll probably regret. Yeah, I should just go ahead and pluck them out. Watch, they'll be, you know, beautiful larkspurs. Now over here is more, all of this is larkspur, and here is a poppy, which I'm really pleased to see. I accidentally sold all my poppy seed, which is why I'm having to buy it. So I'm hoping I do have at least some self-sowing poppies so that I have my original germplasm. I'm gonna have to be asking people to bring me seeds back. Here's another poppy mixed with chickweed. So you see there is chickweed established in here, and I'd really like to get it out. And of course there is vetch also, which is really my biggest winter problem plant. So I'm gonna spend a little more time in here weeding out the bad stuff. You can see more lamium there. Not anything major. And then I'm going to get my interesting colored California poppy seeds out. So as I mentioned in yesterday's cottage gardening video, I'm a little off schedule, particularly for getting garlic and bulbs planted, but I'm going ahead and doing it anyway. I found some tulips left over from, I guess, early December. I don't know why I didn't finish the job, but I didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these into that feed tank bed here that already has grains established, and a rosemary that I transplanted. I probably did already put tulips in there, but I don't remember, so I'm going to add more. And then I've also got some elephant garlics, which I actually just purchased at Wegmans. But these are really tall. They're not the best thing to do right along an edge. So I'm gonna scatter these throughout the bed. They're gonna get to be like 3 foot tall, and they have a really pretty flower on them. And then I have more music hardneck garlic that I'm gonna plant along this edge. The hardneck garlic feels good. The soft necks that I bought were in really rough shape. I'm not sure they're actually gonna grow. I think I let them dry rot because I waited too long to plant them. But again, you have nothing to lose. If the plants don't grow, oh well, isn't it better than throwing it in your compost pile? Timing does matter for some of these things, and I'm definitely pushing the limits with regard to getting bulbs planted this late. But again, the weather has been really weird. It was super warm for so long, and then December just got away from me. And that is just sometimes the reality of being a gardener. Sometimes the garden isn't your #1 priority and you get off schedule. And I'm telling you this so that you feel okay if you're off schedule just like me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually do the garlic planting first before I scatter the seeds. And of course, I've decided I couldn't just be super simple. I did find the Strawberry Fields California poppy that my friend Sarah gave me as a holiday gift. Thank you, Sarah. And then I'm going to also add some cilantro to that and a little bit of nigella. Not necessary, it's just because I can't control myself. All right, so the garlic is just like I did yesterday, and I'm actually going to make a separate how to plant garlic video, so I'm not going to go into the details in today's. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on time lapse and get it all done. Alright, the final step is to get the California poppy sown. I've already sown the nigella and cilantro. Both of those are tolerant of being raked, so I did rake them in so the seeds have good contact with the soil. The poppies need light to germinate. They need to be right on the surface. So once you sow the poppies, you don't do anything else to the bed. California poppies are great because they're the lowest of the poppies that you can grow. They're usually somewhere between 12 and 15 inches tall, so they're perfect kind of front to middle border. I don't want anything to be super tall in here. My aim is that the elephant garlics will be the tallest element, and they'll just sort of pop up through a layer of poppies, California poppies, that is. So I am basically just going to put half of the seed pack in my hand, and I am going to just lightly scatter them in this bed, and then I'm going to do the same over here. Make sure that I get all areas covered. And one seed pack is definitely sufficient. Now you'll note this is full sun. And to be honest, that's basically all I have here. I live in a former tobacco field. Full sun is definitely best for the cottage garden seeding. All of these plants prefer more sun than shade. And watering can be a little bit tricky because there's so many factors that play a role. Really, I think you just want to make sure that you're keeping the top inch wet. So that might mean a little bit of just hand watering with a hose from time to time. Here in central North Carolina, we're already relatively wet, so I'm not going to do any watering at this point. And in a few days, if we don't get rain, I'll just come out and gently water with a sprinkler with a rose attachment. You don't need to water deeply. These plants are going to have really small root systems for the next 6 weeks. So you're not watering like you would in the summertime. You're really just surface watering to keep the seedlings moist enough to be able to establish. Well, I do hope that you'll plan to subscribe and tune in for regular updates. As I'm getting all of the beds planted, once they start germinating, I will give plant ID videos, and I have a ton of great resources in the Gardening from Seed, the Cottage Gardening, and the How to Grow Poppies playlist, so I hope you'll check those out. Well, as always, I hope this video will serve as inspiration, and I look forward to sharing updates. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy gardening.